here are my bullet journals. So this is the first one that I had. It's a purple one, it's beautiful, and it got a lot of use. So I used this one first, and then I moved on to a darker blue one, which eventually went missing, unfortunately. It had several pages filled out, and I was really upset when I lost it, but what can you do? So I did move on to this one. This one I did do about half of it, which I will show you. And then I kind of just got tired of it. You know, COVID happened, and so I just lost motivation. And slowly but surely, I've fallen out of love with this bullet journal. So I want to fall back in love with my bullet journals, so I bought a fresh one, this one. Now, I bought another purple one because that was the best journal I ever did, was in a purple journal. And purple is my favorite color, so I thought I would be more motivated to do my best work if I was excited to see the cover of the bullet journal. So that's why we're gonna be working on this purple one. It's not coming off great on camera, but it's a beautiful purple one. And so yeah, so it's very much like my first one. So that's what we're gonna do, is we're gonna start a new bullet journal. Before we move on to our new bullet journal, I wanted to show you guys some of my favorite pages in my old bullet journals, preferably ones that I will probably be transferring to my new one, but in a better, more creative way. So let's go through it and just show you guys some of my favorite pages. Let's start with the first one that I've ever done. Now, this one was a work in progress because it was the first one I ever done. One of my friends decided that she was going to do a bullet journal. And so she kind of got me hooked on bullet journals, and then I got other people hooked on bullet journaling for a while. So the first couple of pages are definitely a work in progress. The first page is the key. So I had a bunch of different things that I was constantly tagging. And then of course the table of contents. One of the downsides is you don't have a whole lot of table of contents. You basically have 2 pages here and then 1 page here. So you have 3 pages that you're able to fit your table of contents in. Then they come with some blank pages that you could add stuff if you want to. As you can see, I decided to decorate mine in my lovely slogan. So here it is. And then of course I had a happy birthday wheel, which had all of the names for people that I wanted to keep track of for their birthdays. And then I did a year calendar on this page, which I extended later on. This was my first attempt at doing some monthly calendars. This process definitely changed throughout my bullet journal. I enjoyed doing it. It definitely helped me later on to figure out what I liked and what I didn't like. So that brings us to the first time I attempted to do a smaller version of it. I definitely did not like it at all. Even looking back on it, I hate the way that it looks. I didn't put my best effort into it. At the time, I didn't have the right pens either. So we're just gonna move from this because it was terrible. Now, this was my first real attempt at trying to do something pretty. So I had my bills here so that way I could keep track of what I was paying for and when I paid them, as well as some expenses that I was going through. And on this page, I had my savings. So I wanted to save up for a lot of different things, but only some of it went to some of the things that I had put in the jar of what I wanted to save up for. So yeah, so I tried to make this look like a dollar bill, and then just overall, I wanted the feeling of money, hence why the green on it. This I also moved on to the future bullet journals. This here I had my page idea page. So all the pages that I wanted to include in the bullet journal, or even if I had an idea of something that I thought was really cool, I would put in here and then try to make come to life, which ended up happening. So it seems like I did manage to get quite a few things in this bullet journal. And then over here, I had the 30 before 30, which eventually, I don't know if you can see it, but eventually became 30-ish. Because I did not actually get to do a lot of these things before I turned 30. I didn't even fill out 30 things. So I probably could have gone with some more manageable things, but I remember I did this at a time where I was super optimistic. And as we know, life gets in the way. So, next page. This was just a monthly tracker, a list of things that I had to get done and kind of keep me on track of when I last did them. Cause at the time I was really bad at like cleaning up my fridge or cleaning up my car or putting oil in my car. So I was trying to keep track of that. I didn't get very far because even when I did do it, I would forget to mark it down. So in the end, this didn't work and I don't think I end up using it in future bullet journals. But I did like my heading that I had done for it, and yeah. I did move this one over. This one sort of helped, but I improved the system a little bit in future ones. So I did attempt to do a daily one at a time, trying to keep track of what I wanted for food, my water and exercise intake, as well as any to-do list things. I did try to do this, and I think I only did it for a short period of time because it just became too much for me. I love bullet journaling, but every single day doing a daily thing here became just too much for me. But it's whatever works for everybody. This just didn't end up being my style. So, and then I had a to-do list that I needed to do for my job back in the day. Another attempt at dailies. I made a page to try and get some me time in there, like my purchases, to try and keep track of how much frivolous spending I was doing. So that's what this page is. So this page is another daily, and then I did a password keeper page to keep track of all my passwords. This I also didn't end up improving in later bullet journals. So then I have another daily, and then I try to keep track of wish lists that I wanted for Christmas, because it was becoming Christmas and people kept asking what I wanted, and then I just marked them off if I got them. And then I kept a list of the presents that I was giving other people, so that way I could mark down what I was giving people. More dailies, and then I went to weekly to try to see if that was more manageable. It was not. So this only lasted a short period of time as well. I tried doing them ahead of time, but then it wouldn't get filled out, or it'd be a lot of blank stuff, so I just felt like I was wasting paper at that time. Alright, skipping ahead, so we did have my to-do list as far as presents go, whether it was wrapping it or picking things up. And then for a time, I was doing trackers. So I attempted to do a tracker, which is this here. It worked out for a little while. Did end up putting it in other bullet journals, just because I was hoping that I would continue with it, and for a while I did. So I would just put down, let's see if I can zoom in here. So here I would put down like what month it was, and then some of the activities or things that I wanted to accomplish in that day, and then I would just tick them off on the day if I managed to do them. So some days were good. As you can see, in December, the workouts did not go well at all. And then I had housework stuff that I wanted to get done, ideally on the days that I wanted to get them done. And then the New Year's Eve resolution page. So obviously the goals and resolutions I had. I got so upset one day that I just decided to write down the things that I was done with, the things that were making me unhappy, followed by a list of things that were making me happy if I ever needed to do something. So I could look at the list and be like, okay, reading a book makes me happy, or playing a board game makes me happy. Let's try and do that. I had a goals and a weight loss page. So that's what I was working on with this one. We had a lovely little chart I could follow all the way down to try and get to my goal weight at the time, which wasn't very much, but it was a start. And then I would fill it in as I got closer, but I ended up not using this page as much as I thought I would. This is my inspiration page. So I just filled this page with a bunch of quotes and things that I thought were really nice or gave me motivation, things like that. Some of them are Disney inspired, some of them are actual quotes. So it's just kind of a mixture of everything. This page I kind of did about me so I could get more reflection on myself. So I put down what I love about me. And then on here I wrote some 10 things that you should know about me. One of which is I love playing video games, but when I do tend to play, I swear a lot, I turn red, and I hold my breath. On this page, I stopped doing, but you can see in pencil, I wanted to put some more in there. But at the time, these were some of the shows that I wanted to be in. As you know, I'm a big musical theater buff. And then here I also had a collection of Disney movies. So I made a list of all the Disney movies at the time that I wanted to own. And again, I would fill them in as I got them. There are a few I can tell that I have that I didn't mark down, but this was an old bullet journal. But I definitely enjoyed doing the text and the decorating on both of these pages. We have a budget page. We have a list of things people kept borrowing things from me and I kept forgetting where they were going to. So for a while, I did write down who had borrowed stuff from me. To be fair, some of these things got returned and some of them did not. So I don't know if that list really worked or not, but I at least know where they were, and yeah. I had some artwork and painting ideas written down. This was my array of Drop of Golden Sun page. So this is more like a gratitude page. So I would write down little things that made me happy throughout the day. I only filled out half of it, but yeah. It's just little things like when a kid recognized me in a show I was in, you know, just little compliments or things like that that I get. On this page, I have things that I love from 2016. So that's when this page was done. So I wrote like books, and then I would list a whole bunch of books that I liked with a picture or two that represented it. I have musicals that I was really into at the time. Apparently all things Disney, some TV shows and movies. So that way if I ever wanted to look back and know what I was into, I could definitely see a lot of these things I'm still into, and I don't think I would forget. In fact, I'm currently rewatching all of Supernatural because why not? But yeah, so that's this page. I really enjoyed just kind of like decorating it. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it a lot. So yeah, so that's this page. We have a wish list, and then over here I have my travel wish list. So places that I wanted to go. I did end up going to Vegas, so I put a little check mark there. And I have not been to any of these other places yet, but hopefully one day when COVID is lifted and we can all enjoy vacations again. Over here I have a bucket list, and so these are all the things that I want to accomplish before I kick the bucket. I thought it was really cute, drew a little bucket. I thought that was very clever, even though it's not. Yeah, so that's this page. And then over here, I made a list of like my long-term goals, like being stable and happy in a job. And then I just kind of made lines towards the benefits of those, and or some ways to achieve that goal. So yeah, there is this. I made an exercise fitness page with the little tape measure. I thought that was really cute. With the classes that I was taking, some chair exercises at the time because I was working as a receptionist, so I sat in a chair a lot. And I had also injured my feet, so I was trying to do some exercises where I wasn't putting so much strain on my feet, with some inches and measurements back at the time. This has definitely gone to other books. It's definitely improved and gotten better. But this was a list of books that I had in my current library that I wanted to read. And as I read them, I would color them in. I can see there's definitely a lot of books I could color in at this moment. And then over here, I would list the books that I had read that year. I started a page of things that I was learning to cook. Clearly, I learned one recipe in 2016. And then again, it was just the daily trackers or the monthly trackers that I was trying to see. At the time, I had a job where I could go through this every day and mark down what I was doing and what I wasn't doing. So it was a lot easier back then. And so here is more monthlies. And this is the process that I ended up sticking with for long periods of time, is that one page was designated to being a breakdown page. So I had the to-do list, notes, and then the bills that I had to pay that month, making sure that they were paid. And then they would alternate between trackers and then this. So this is the actual process that stayed, which was I would have the monthly calendar on one side and then the breakdown on the other. Nothing really happened a whole lot in March, but there you go. These were great because, like I said, I have the month on this side and the breakdown on the other in case I needed to write additional notes or an address or things like that. And then it would alternate to the breakdown on this side. So yeah, so this process stayed for a while. I'm just gonna quickly go through it because I remember I managed to do a whole year of prep for these. Some more things that I wanted to learn to cook, as well as a shopping list. A to-do list for my work at the time. I made a Sims 4 cheat sheet and household items or household ideas, sorry, that I wanted to do. I was doing a series on making princess characters at the time. So I was keeping track of the ones that I had done, as well as, you know, the cheat sheets that help you build houses, because I wanted to build their houses too. More budgeting. So I had ideas for pantos that I wanted to write, which are plays, as well as some things that were coming into my brain for songs. These were also some show ideas that I wanted to do. I thought it was really cute making the little curtains and the theater thing the way it looked, but like some of these are shows that actually exist, some of them are shows that don't exist, but they were shows that I kind of wanted to perform. As well as over here, there were song ideas from either shows that existed or didn't that I also wanted to perform or just do with my friends. I made a list of Christmas songs as well around December because we were doing a lot of caroling. So rather than thinking of all these Christmas songs, for some reason, I thought it was a great idea just to write a lot of them down. As well as I wrote down some really old songs that we thought were really cute and we could do. On this page is my board game wish list. So I thought it was really cute because I made, to me, it says board game, but just in like different kind of board game pieces and whatnot. And then made a list of all the board games that I wish to purchase. And then on this side, it was around Halloween, so I was having a big Halloween party at my house, so I made a to-do list of things that I wanted to get done. So if I were to ever own a house, I was keeping a wish list of things that I wish I had in that house or a place of my own, as well as some items for the home that I wanted to purchase, whether it was for my, home to own or just the house that I was currently in. Here is another Christmas birthday wish list. So we've just about made it another year through the bullet journal, although technically the other one, this started in November. So we've made it a year and a couple of months. So this was some lyrics to a song that I was singing in a Gilbert and Sullivan show, and I just wanted to make sure that I knew all the lyrics. So it helped me learn the lyrics. It also helped my confidence to know that I could pull my bullet journal out at any time and have the lyrics with me. So Okay, so this I started to do a yearly wrap up, so I just kind of wrote down things that had happened to me in that year. So, drew some pictures and I was excited about those. Over here is another New Year's goals and resolutions. I kind of made it a little bit differently than I made the other one. That's what this was. Followed by more daily trackers and monthly breakdowns. Man, my calendars look very different these days. Definitely not this anymore. They're definitely a lot more empty these days, I would say. All right, on this page, these ones I also did move to my other book as well. They were updated and changed. I have my Netflix and chill page, which were shows that I wanted, not necessarily on Netflix, but just shows that I wanted to watch on this side, and then movies that I wanted to watch on this side. And then if I got to watch that movie, like Pitch Perfect 3, I would color it as if it were popcorn that had butter on it. And who doesn't like popcorn with butter? So if I colored it in yellow, I actually got to see it. I have seen a few of these now that weren't colored in, but that's the nature of these bullet journals, right? Is you look back on them and they're already changed. I did attempt to do an inside out page. I was going to draw the characters from Inside Out on this page, as well as just keeping track of my moods and emotional state during this period. I did unfortunately only do it for about a month and a half. I did another chore list of things that I wanted to get done and when they should be done. Yeah, so that's this page. I also had a page of goals that I wanted to look forward to and accomplish, as well as a page of movies that I wanted to watch with my friends. Unfortunately, I did stop with the bullet journal after this, so this page never really got finished, mostly because I realized that I couldn't fit another year in this bullet journal, so I kind of stopped, which is a sad thing, but I kind of stopped using it just because I knew that I wasn't going to be able to use it. So that's it for this bullet journal. It did serve me for 2 years, so that was good. All right, so bullet journal number 2. So this is the one that I currently started to use after I lost my other one. I'm not gonna show you all the pages because, like I said, I fell out of love with this bullet journal pretty quickly, which is a shame, but hopefully this new bullet journal that I'm starting will be a fresh start. So this is a contact page that I had made. Obviously, I've covered up some numbers and whatnot, but I was really excited. You can't really see it on camera, but here I've done a phone. You can't really see it here, but I have done up a phone, and in the cord, it says contact. I did it better in my other bullet journal, but it says contact, and then in the phone it says list in black marker. It's a little dark on this page. So this page here is the wheels that I had done in the previous one. So these ones are a bit more updated. So I had the anniversary wheel and then I had the birthday wheel. So I kept track of holidays, anniversaries, all of that on this one because I was afraid I wasn't going to be able to fit it on one wheel. So I just kept birthdays on one and anniversaries and holidays on the other. Or a 2-year calendar, but I split it up onto 2 pages. So this was 2020 and 2021. I'm gonna skip through all of these pages because you guys have seen it. The monthly calendar on this side, the breakdown on the other with notes and other information that I needed to know. I did put in the trackers for the whole year, but I did not end up using it. I just lost motivation to do the monthly trackers. Okay, so I just want to talk about this for a second. This was April of 2019. Again, full of things I was doing and going through. And then, as you can see, COVID hit. And it immediately went, from a calendar full of things to nothing. Absolutely nothing. So I think this is the main reason why I lost my motivation to doing my bullet journal, because there wasn't anything to put in it. None of the other months after that got anything put in it because there was nothing to put in them at all. That's really what sucks. Which brings us to February. This is this month's 2021. I had prepped all of these calendars for 3 years. I have all of these months prepped, and the problem is that I don't want to do it. So, and the December of 2021. That's all of these are wasted pages. Followed by the New Year's resolution that I had set up in 2019. So that's when this page was done. So I started to write in the things that I wanted to do for 2020 and 2021, all of which did not happen. And then over here, I was going to draw little pictures and things that had happened in those years to kind of wrap up and look back on and be like, oh, that's what I did. The only thing I have in here is that I got engaged on September 30th, 2018. That is it. That's all I have in here, which is very sad, but that's what this year has looked like. I'm gonna keep going because there's not that many pages. This is it. This is how many pages I've done in this bullet journal. So we'll go through it quickly. Again, monthly trackers for cleaning. I thought this one was really cute. It made it look like wood, still had all of the things that I needed to get done each month. So this page is my passwords page. As you can see, I've got password keeper up here, and then other important information that I need to know. I blocked out some of the stuff that you guys don't need to see, obviously, but I did a couple little cute little icons. In one of my other bullet journals, I did a lot more, but I also had 2 pages dedicated to passwords, whereas this time I condensed it to 1. So yeah, and then I just have a list of all my other passwords, and yeah, so that is this page. So, and then there's this page, which was like the first bullet journal I had. I had the bills up here, all nice and colored, and then I have the savings jar, which I put some things in there that I wanted to do eventually, but that is also something that has changed. Tried to do another what I love about me, and the reasons that I wanted to lose weight. Because I just like color, I like color schemes, so it was a nice little contrasting thing that I had. Another one of these weight trackers that I did, I thought I had done it better, but again, it did not get used, mostly due to lack of motivation because we weren't doing anything. This one I did a lot better. I have to add more books to this because I know I've finished more books. But this is another page where I did the bookshelf and I filled in some books that I currently had that I still hadn't read. So I wanted to get through my bookshelf before buying new ones. And then I would color in the ones that I had read. Again, I also see a few more that I need to color in, but that's besides the point. But these were my favorite pages. I enjoyed these pages. I like looking at these pages because I love reading books. These pages gave me a lot of joy to do and fill out. On this other page, I had my book wish list, which includes the books series that I was kind of collecting, and then the order. That's the main thing, right? Is like the order always threw me off when I was buying things. So I wanted to make sure that I was getting things in the order and reading them in the order. So, and then as I would get them, I would fill them out. These I've collected now so I can color these in. But yeah, that's what this page is. And I will probably do this in my new bullet journal as well, because again, I love books, so this was a lot of joy to fill out. And then I have my Netflix and chill page, as well as my movies to watch page. Put movie titles in all of these popcorns that I wanted to see, and then I would color them in once I had seen them. On this page, I had the TV shows that I wanted to watch. Season 13, episodes 17, 18, and onward. I would color them in when I'd seen them. I had seen all of The Good Place, but I wanted to watch it again, so I kept track if I wanted to. This was my wish list page, pretty self-explanatory. If I wanted something, I would have to write it down immediately because my birthday is in December. So when people were asking me, what do you want for your birthday or Christmas? I didn't have a whole lot of time to think about it. So I would have to remember it because I was terrible at that. So I made a wish list page. These pages didn't get used, but I had high hopes for them because I wanted to make them in my other bullet journal, which was a list just for movies that I had, movies that I wanted, TV shows that I wanted to buy, because I had all of Big Bang Theory, for instance, except for season 12. So I wanted to remind myself that season 12 was the one that I wanted to buy, so I could always look back on this. To-do lists. I was a stage manager, a director, an actor for a lot of shows, but I needed to-do lists like everybody else. I owned my own theater company. Things are a little questionable right now due to COVID, but at the time I had made a to-do list for that company, and I had my stage manager to-do list for a different show that I was stage managing for. And because I was a first-time stage manager at the time, I had made myself a Bible and some tips and tricks. I think it was really cool. I liked how I did this. I mean, I don't know if it'll get used very much anymore, but I enjoyed drawing it. So, at the time I was getting married, so I had a wedding to-do list. I definitely enjoyed coloring this at the time, but I also thought I was getting married. So I had that with the to-do list. Followed by others. Like I had a budget sheet, so I did a cute little wedding budget, and then I had another one where there were notes, and then I had another one where it was a contact list that it didn't actually get finished. Now the next page becomes hilarious because I started doing these next pages at the very beginning of 2020. So this was done January, maybe February latest. So I decided that I was going to absolutely get ready for 2020. I was gonna get remotivated to go back to my bullet journal. So I was like, you know what? Do a fun page that gets you in the mood to bullet journal and color and draw again. So that's what this page is. This was the page that was supposed to get me back in the game. So as you can see, I have the 2020, and at the bottom I put, this is your year. It was not my year at all. So that's what this page was going to be, which I think is hilarious because either on the same day or the next day after, I had done these, which I think actually represent what 2020 ended up being, which is to take it one day at a time and to keep calm and sing Let It Go. Now, I'm not a huge Frozen person, but I enjoyed singing and I thought it was a very good motto to just let it go. So that's what I drew. This is actually in 2020 now, where things were hitting the fan, and I decided to do a YouTube channel. And then so these were all the ideas that I wanted to do and then see where it went. And then these were going to be some other YouTube trackers that I could keep track of. This was going to be my ideal morning and nighttime routines to try and stay on top of things. Again, it did not end up happening for a lot of them, so I made more of these lists with the little house from Up, I realized, but I didn't end up filling it out. I also did like grass, but you can see right here that I did wish list, so it kind of looks like it's part of the grass. I thought that was really cute, but I was delusional at the time. I was in quarantine. So there you go. Again, I redid the cheats and some Sim 4 houses that I wanted to do, including Disney princesses again, because I hadn't finished it. These two pages are lyrics to songs. When COVID was slowly lifting at the time, when we thought it was going to be over and we could go back to kind of regular routines, they were auditioning for a show, and so they asked you to prepare 2 songs. So these were the 2 songs I was going to sing, so I wrote down the lyrics to help me get in the zone. before the first rehearsal, of course, we ended up having to cancel the show. So that was fun. This was my emotional dump when I had, as you can see, it was March 18th. So this is when I officially had to cancel my wedding and all of that. So I just dumped a whole bunch of stuff in there and how I was angry about it. So I attempted to do another Ray of Golden Sun to try and bring up my spirits a little bit. And then I tried to do a self-care plan. I really enjoy the look of these and I wish I had actually done them. I probably will transfer these to my new bullet journal and actually do them because I really do like the look of it. I made some bubbles in the shape of hearts. So yeah, and this is the last page. So this was my attempt to redo the bucket list so I could put more things in there, actually fill it out properly, and then a travel wish list again on this side. But this is where my motivation kind of stopped. There's nothing after this. So it makes me sad that I didn't finish this bullet journal, but that's why we are going to do a new bullet journal in the next video. So if you want to stick around for that and watch me do up a new bullet journal, that would be great. We'll get some motivation from these two older books, and I'm sure we will get motivation from the new books. I might switch it up. I am getting a little bit tired of kind of doing this kind of setup. So I might try to do something different. I might try not plan so much ahead. This bullet journal I did plan 3 years in advance. So it definitely got tedious by the time I was finishing this calendar, and I don't want to get sick of it. I want to start on a good note and a good start. So for this new one, as you can see, it's fresh. There's nothing in here. So we're gonna get started and we're gonna make this as good as possible because I have a lot of things that I need to keep track of again. Things aren't getting back to normal, but there are going to be a lot of plans, a lot of appointments that I need to keep track of. And the best way that I know how to do it and the most exciting way I know how to do it is through a bullet journal. So let's do that. And if you guys have any ideas or if you have any suggestions on pages or anything like that, you know, message me in the comments below. Let me know what you guys put in your bullet journals and let's get on a better track this year. So, till next time, like and subscribe, hit the notification button, and I will see you in the next. Bye, bitches!